All right, let's move on to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, and I guess finish this up. This is it, guys. We knocked out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. Took 3 days. I actually thought I was going to do it in 2 because I had a lot of free time to do this, and I just couldn't get those things together. But 3 days ain't bad for 7 fucking movies. If you're wondering, I mentioned in the first one, but I'll mention it here again since we're at the end. Why is he not doing Leatherface, the new movie that they just did? I did it a while back, right when it came out. The day it came out, I reviewed it. I talked about it for about a bit. I thought it was pretty dreadful. I will eventually revisit it. I do have zero interest right now to revisit it at the moment, to be completely honest. I really, really didn't like it. I'm going to have to let it, maybe get another few years behind it before I will try it again. But I'm not sure I will ever like it, but we'll see. I've changed my mind on stuff before. This is a film that isn't really liked that much. And I find that fairly surprising. Do I think it's as good as the remake, the Jessica Biel one? Absolutely not. No, I do not. Do I think it's good? Yes, very much so. I think this is a very cool movie. Rewatching it this time, I have to say I was a little surprised by how much slower paced it was than I remember. Like, I remember it being a lot more gruesome. There isn't a ton of gore and whatnot in this like I thought I had remembered. And this is the unrated, too shocking for theaters version. Get out of here. You get the 2 different covers here. You get the Leatherface one on the front, and then the other cover here. It's pretty cool. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't hold up as well as my memory, but I still definitely enjoyed it. And it was a solid prequel to the first one, the remake. I kind of feel like it just serviced that film, mostly. Like, it just was kind of explaining how all these things happened. I think where a lot of people may dislike this film, outside of things I may have just already mentioned, but another thing is that people are big on prequels. And I understand why, because the stakes are much lower in prequels. Like, we know that certain characters can't die and certain characters can't succeed, because how could they? So that takes a lot of tension out of the film and whatnot when you're like, well, I know they don't die. So anytime they're in peril, it's like, well, they're going to get out of this or whatever. But I don't really look at it like that. I don't really care. I'm more there for the story and how it plays out and the kills and just kind of how those things will transpire. Like, I know they're going to. I know that somehow we're going to see them live or whatever. So I'm not that worried about that going in. I don't care. It's just, is it a cool movie? If it is, I'm going to enjoy it. So anyway, let's talk about the film. We have Leatherface born in a slaughterhouse. His mom is pregnant. She thinks she needs a break. She falls over. She gives birth to the damn kid. He's deformed. So they just take the kid and throw his ass while still alive in the trash. Wow, there's some shitty people that live in this town. Jordana Brewster is in this as the lead actress here, and she is a very pretty lady, so nothing wrong with that. And then the other girl, which I know her face. I feel like I've seen her in something else. I don't know who it is, though, but yeah, I don't recognize her name on the back here. But that blonde girl is freaking gorgeous. And I love the opening here when, that's a pretty gruesome opening where she gives birth and, baby comes out, throw it in the trash, picks it up, and she like opens it up, and Arlie Ermey's in the back, and she's like, look, like, he's, isn't he precious or something? He's like, it's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen, and like just cuts to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love that opening line. I think it's freaking fantastic. And we get to see Leatherface working at the slaughterhouse, which is damn cool. We've never got to see him working at a slaughterhouse before. We've heard about the Sawyers or the Hewitts or whatever you want to call them, working at the slaughterhouse. I really wish that the grandpa had been. He's a tow truck driver in this. I don't know if they all work there at one point. We don't really get to see that all that much. That's like closing day at the factory. They're laying everyone off. They're closing it down. They're not killing any cows anymore. It's belly up. Everyone's leaving town. It's becoming a ghost town. And, Leatherface is pushed out. So he comes back and he fucking murders the boss. And that sets the cops on him. And the cops are after him. So they take Arlie and or Hoyt. I can't remember what his name is actually in this movie. But he does go with him, and Leatherface is out there, goes and he blows the fucking sheriff away. And this is how we find out he was not appointed to this position. He just took it by force, and there really wasn't anyone left in town to contend or, call him out and expose him, put him in jail, or call the police. Like, he is the police now. Who's gonna say different? This is 1969. Things were different back then. And we get to see the first time that they eat people, and it's Hoyt's decision, not Leatherface's, not anyone else's in the families. He makes that decision. Leatherface has no problem with this. And the mom, you think, is going to for a minute, and all she's worried about is them saying grace, and Grandpa looks pretty excited about it. So none of them are like, oh, what are you talking about? He doesn't have to talk them into it. They take to it pretty easily. So then we get to see the kids who are off to go over to Vietnam because they have been in, they're being forced to go because, that's something that we did in Vietnam. Freaking, oh my God, the draft. What the hell? No fucking way. I'd be totally like this other kid. I'm like, I'm not going to fight in your stupid fucking war. This thing is completely pointless. Hell no. Like, the only way you could get me to fight in a war is if I totally believed in the cause. Like, I would be like, like aliens invading and they're like blowing everything up. And I'd be like, all right, those motherfuckers need to die. Get me a gun. But I'm not going to get too political here or anything or get into my opinions, but that fucking war was completely pointless. And yeah, no way. So when he's like, I don't want to go, I was completely on his side. I was like, yep, I'm good. We get the same house here. All the same actors return. Love the continuity. Absolutely. And they really do, like, pay attention and try to explain as many things as they can. And some people don't like that. Some people like things to remain a mystery. They don't want everything just given to them, and that's fine. But if I'm going to watch this movie, it's kind of fun to see how Arlie, Hoyt's teeth got knocked out, or how Grandpa lost his legs, or, there's so many different little things in this movie, like, oh, that's how, or how he became sheriff, or all those things. I like that. It's fun. It's fun to go back and see this stuff and be like, okay, yeah, all right, that's how they did it. That's fun. And the biker chick, like, I don't know, like, bikers chasing you, I've always found that to be fairly silly. Like, they pull up next to you and they have something and they're like, pull over. And you're like, okay, I'll pull over. Boom. I'll pull over right into you. Like, I don't know. A motorcycle chasing you, it's not that scary to me. You hit the brakes, you turn, you knock them off their bikes. Like, there's nothing they could do about it. I don't care how good of a fucking motorcycle rider that you are. If I hit you with my car and your bike, you're fucking dying, or you're going to be mangled. So don't pull up next to me and try to fucking tell me to pull over. I'll kill your ass. Anyway. So the biker chick is chasing them. He pulls out his gun, looks away, and then they run into this cow, cut it in half, get thrown. She's holding him hostage, and, Hoyt shows up, and he doesn't even fucking blink for a second. She has her hand behind her back, and he don't trust it, and he blows her ass away. Which is like the one moment where you like him. You're like, all right, man. Like, this chick, you didn't let her get the best of you. You're the savior. Of course, then he isn't, but I was like, yeah, get her. And then I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, you're a dick. He finds the draft card. He's, like, what the hell? Which one to use? This guy, the brother, takes the fall for it, and he takes him back to the house, and he starts making the one brother do push-ups because he doesn't believe that he was an actual, soldier over in the war, and tells him if he can do 20 push-ups, he'll set him free. And while he's doing it, he just keeps clubbing his back. And then when he finally does the 20, he just like crushes his fucking spine. He ends up walking later in the movie, so he clearly isn't paralyzed or anything, but it takes a while for him to heal up. He's just like, I'm a man of my word, you can go if you can walk. That was some evil shit, man. And Jordana gets, the biker to come help, which I'm not a big fan of the biker. I think it could have worked very well. But I wasn't really a big fan of the guy portraying him. He just seemed so emotionless, and not in a good way. It was just kind of like, almost like reading the lines and just being like, where is he? All right, let's go, and fuck your friends and whatever. He didn't seem intimidating. He didn't seem scary. He didn't seem like he could go fuck shit up. He didn't seem like he could give, Leatherface a run for his money. Like, make him a big biker. That would have been awesome to see Leatherface like really go toe to toe with somebody his own size. Like, we always see him going up against these kids who have no chance of overpowering him. But to see these two titans like go at each other would have been a lot of fun. Obviously, Leatherface would have had to win somehow. But I do love his death. That shit's gruesome. We don't get to see a ton of it, unfortunately. But I just love the concept of him falling on a chainsaw, Hoyt holding him down, and Leatherface coming and revving the chainsaw and pulling it up through his body from the ground. Awesome shit. Blows the freaking grandpa's knee out. So Hoyt decides that he's going to have Leatherface or Thomas Hewitt come out with the chainsaw and cut the leg off, because that'll solve the problem. And when he does, he's like, oh, come on, you screwed it up. Like, even him up. Even him up. I love that line. And Leatherface just cuts off the other one. She's like, why'd you do that? And he was like, symmetry or something. Oh, so good. He's so just freaking mean and wacky, screwed up in the head. And I like when the blonde's trying to drive away in the car, and Leatherface just runs up and just hooks her body and yanks her out of the car, and the car just keeps driving and she's on the ground. That was fucking rad, man. It was so gnarly. And he actually wears a leather mask in this over his face in the beginning. Kind of looks like a Sub-Zero or something from Mortal Kombat. I thought that was a really cool look. And he technically is a Leatherface here, although human skin being dried out would be leather, but this is typical leather that we know is leather. And her boyfriend, Jordana Brewster's boyfriend, in this gets murdered right on top of her. We get that pretty typically in a lot of these, where the girlfriend has to watch the boyfriend or somebody cut up right in front of them. Oh my God. Oh shit, it's getting late. But yeah, she gets to watch him and then she has to listen to him cutting his face off, and then he takes the face, and we get to see Leatherface's first face he ever uses for his own. And she has to watch him sew it up and then try it on and look in the mirror, and it's great. And I love how everyone kind of accepts it immediately. Like, Hoyt's like, I like your new mask. Like, they got some good family chemistry here, man. They accept each other. Yeah, that's more than I can say for a lot of friends' families I know, including my own. And yeah, I think, and then Leatherface is hiding in the back seat at the end, and he chainsaws right up through her, and she smashes right into the cops and kills any chance. And it's cool that she's like, sees the cops, thinks she's free. Leatherface pops up, chainsaws her right up through the stomach. She fucking dies, falls, boom, kills everyone. Leatherface walks off into the sunset. So anyways, all right, so that's about it, guys. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What'd you think? What do you think about this one? Is this an entry you like? Is this one you hate like a lot of people do? Are you kind of in the middle about it? I'd love to see a ranking down below. So if you want to show me, maybe I'll put one in there as well. So, all right, guys, I don't know what one I'll do next, but I will think about it.